my voice. I've been in the exhibition for 2 days, so please bear with me. To tell you a bit about...
Meaning you're doing a lot of business.
Thank God. Telling you a bit about Earth Technologies. Earth Technologies is an energy service company. We specialize in renewable energy and energy efficiency. We're based in Lebanon, but we have operations in Africa and the Middle East. But we're currently working on around 200 megawatts power plants in Africa and more than 75 megawatts in the Middle East. We do simply energy efficiency design and renewable energy design. To go back to our topic today, I'll be discussing the current state of the renewable energy market in the region. I will be discussing the barriers to the development, the future of the market, and what can be done. The Middle East and Africa have a big abundance of renewable energy potential. The potential has always been there. It didn't start today or yesterday. It's always been there, and it will always be there, as long as we're here at least. We're not making use of this abundance. We live in countries with very high potential, and unfortunately, it's not being put to use. We're still using oil, and fuel prices are still going up. Probably we're used to paying more than we should, so that's the Middle East, unfortunately. As far as the benefits that renewable energy can bring to the table, out of the many benefits, I'd like to point out the environmental benefits, technology transfers between different markets. As we see today, we have the Italians and the French sharing their part of the experience, improved trade balance, and increase in skilled jobs. The increase in skilled jobs is more than needed at the moment in Lebanon, as most of our skilled workers are being exported to Saudi Arabia, Africa, and UAE mostly. Another issue we should tackle is the immense stress on the electricity demand. Where I live, I have 12 hours of cuts a day, so I'm lucky. Probably it will become 14, 16 in the coming months. To do something about it, we should start looking upwards towards the sun, sideways towards the wind, downwards towards geothermal, and many other ways that we can create and make use of renewable energy, such as gravity, biomass, etc. 99% of our power sources are still conventional, and we're in 2012, and this simply does not make sense anymore. The barriers to the development of the market, the problem with renewable, especially solar and wind, is that they have variable voltage input. If the wind is strong, if there's no wind, if the sun is out there, if there are clouds, etc., etc. The other barrier is that we got used to short-term thinking, while renewable energy and energy efficiency specifically need long-term planning. If we're not planning, we're not going to get anywhere. The third point is the lack of investments. We can see very shy investments as long as the region is concerned. To have a real technology breakthrough, we need to attract more and bigger investments to the market. Technology restrictions, whereby wind needs minimum speed and it will stop at maximum speed, whereby storage is still a big problem, where if the PV panel got accumulated dust, it will lose efficiency. So we still have barriers in technology as well, but it's going into the right direction. One of the biggest barriers in Lebanon is the lack of know-how. And we did a small test in Lebanon with different solar photovoltaic suppliers. We wanted to design a 60 megawatt power plant, and we tried to address the Lebanese market. We had to get consultants from NASA, Colorado University, and a couple of other consultants that are actually Lebanese living abroad. And we found out that the know-how in Lebanon is below professional manners. Just to give you a quick example, In Lebanon, they code PV systems in amps. So for how many hours? How much will it work? When will my batteries die? Will the system make use? Does where I live have enough irradiation, etc., etc.? All this information is not given to the public. Which leads us to public awareness problems, because in the past, Lebanon, especially the end user in Lebanon, has experienced some bad, poor quality products. We were just discussing earlier outside LED lighting, and someone said, yes, one of my clients installed LEDs, and then he said, it does not work. Of course, it's not going to work because of the quality. But if you get a good quality product, instead of buying it once, twice, or 3 times, you will buy it only once. We had this problem with solar water heaters, if Mr. Khoury recalls. When we started in Lebanon, solar water heaters, anybody and everybody was importing it. So they got the bad quality and made it very hard for us to get into good quality and say, listen, this is the product that will work for 20 years. Bureaucracy is one of the issues that some people hate hearing it, but it's true. Bureaucracy leads to very slow advancement between the private and public sector, between companies and governments, between making actual laws that work and talking about them for so long. We've been to so many conferences, we've been hearing so many different information about how good and how strong the renewable energy market will be, but it is advancing, to be frank, but very slowly. The future of the market, we're looking at higher efficiency in products. I put the solar thermal on purpose. I do work in PV, but I wanted to show them the future of the market will be the present of the solar thermal today. The solar thermal took a lot of work, a lot of financing, and now we're seeing that in photovoltaic. So the future holds for us higher efficiency in technology, new technologies such as gravitational electricity generation, lower cost of production, as our colleague showed us with the price of the PV and the price of installations, better storage with new technologies being sold or any other new technology. The future is filled with solar-powered roofs, parking areas, as my colleagues were discussing earlier, and streets that are lit by solar power. We will be driving electrical cars, most of us in this room. We will be planting our balconies. We will be reusing the water that is, the rainwater that is dropping on our heads every day. But all this we can start right now. So we have the technology, we have the know-how. The Lebanese market is filled with people, with professional people who can actually make this happen today. The reasons why it's not happening, I will leave up to you and up to this conference to answer. What can be done today? The private sector in the region faces many constraints and pressures. We cannot address them alone as companies. Yes, we are putting investments. Yes, we are investing in know-how. Yes, we do have stocks, but we can't do it alone. We have to allow independent power producers. Do you agree, Mr. Khoury? We have to continue on the pursuit of public-private dialogue and a private-private dialogue. The companies in Lebanon don't discuss much. They think if they discuss with each other, it means they are giving each other secrets. And that's not the point. To discuss on a private level will help the market evolve in a much better way. To strengthen the public-private dialogue will get us financing, will get us laws, will get us actual business. We should provide security for investors, as we know we live in a highly fragile area, especially politically and economically. Politically, it's always been like that, but economically, it's getting worse every day. And whenever we're paying money, we should look for ways to save money. And to be able to do that, we should look at energy efficiency companies that can help us and teach us how to save. We should adopt sustainability and explore it, not just discuss it and come to conferences. We should actually use it. I can give you a short example for a household. I know we have students in the conference today. In my house alone, I saved more than $3,000 a year of consumption of energy, be it fuel, be it electricity, be it the generator, and all this is done simply by getting products you can find in many different companies in Lebanon. To stimulate investment through incentives is one of the highest things that we should focus on. Regulations such as exemptions, such as financial incentives from the World Bank or from the Lebanese banks in forms of soft loans, loan guarantees, capital subsidies, and grants. Tax incentives in the form of tax exemptions, which we still don't have. We're paying households a couple of $100s to get solar water heaters, yet we're paying customs on that. Why double taxation? Just do it once. Exempt them from customs, exempt them from VAT, and then give it to the customers for a cheaper price. Although such mechanisms have been put into place because of LCEC, UNDP, and CEDRO projects, and we're seeing more projects and more financial incentives, but the bureaucracy, going back to bureaucracy, is killing us. It's killing the whole market, it's killing the whole incentive. We reached to places where the actual investor said, I don't want the money anymore. I will pay for the fuel, and the whole bureaucracy is just too hard for me. Public awareness and attitude. We need the public support. We need the opinion of the public. We need to understand what the public fears with renewable energy. What are the questions about energy efficiency? What don't they understand? What do they fear? What do they doubt? Is it guarantees? Is it the actual system? We should address the public. We should understand that we have a big problem with the environment. We should be aware of the deterioration of Mother Earth and all the resources that we've been using for so long. Oil, steel, cutting trees, etc., etc. We should teach the customers and the consumers that they actually have a choice. You can save. Most of the Lebanese and the people in the Levant area, whenever you say, come save, they will tell you, no, I don't want to pay. Come pay for a bit. Medium to short term to medium term, you will be saving. You will be making more money than you actually pay. We should work on creation of institutions that provide access to information and education in renewable energy. We should have schools and universities teaching that. We should have technicians being taught how to deal with renewable energy and how to maximize on efficiency. To end my presentation, I'd like to tell you that most people spend more time and energy going around problems than in trying to solve them. We are taught and programmed to live as such. We are programmed and taught to live as if there is no solution for us, but actually there is, and there are many solutions. Thank you so much for your time.